Hey guys, and welcome back for another hips and shoulders mobility focused session. For today's session, all you're going to need is some space on the floor, a strap if you have one. If not, I will give you some alternatives. Grab a mat as well if you have one, and whenever you're ready, come and join me in Tadasana with your strap. And we'll begin with a few shoulder pass-throughs. So you know the drill by now, guys. Wrap one hand around one end, grab a hold of the other, quite a wide grip to begin with. Feet are hip distance apart, and you're thinking about keeping that core locked so you're not arching through your back. You're going to inhale to lift the strap up and over, tap behind you, and then bring it all the way back and over, tap in front of you. We're going to do 10 pass-throughs, just gently getting into those shoulders, opening them up, improving your movement range. And as you do this, you might find that your shoulders begin to loosen and it becomes a bit easier. So you can go ahead and just take half a grip or half a strap wrap around, narrow that grip a little bit further, and then go back to those rotations. Just start to challenge yourself into a narrower grip. So we'll go for about 3 more rotations. Remember to keep those ribs locked down as you pass through, up and over. 1 more. And then we're going to keep a hold of that strap. Take it above the head, and as you exhale, reach all the way over to one side. So keeping your arms locked out straight, try and pull one arm all the way down to your side and find that stretch in the side body. And then inhale back to center and repeat on the other side. So taking the other hand all the way down to your waist now, trying to keep those arms as straight as possible, finding that stretch. We're going to do 3 stretches each side. Just moving with your own breath in your own time. Last one, and then come all the way back up to center. Release your hand from the strap. You can chuck it to one side. You're probably not going to need it. And find yourself in Tadasana at the front of your mat. From here, we're going to inhale as we extend our hands up towards the ceiling, into extended Tadasana. Take your eye gaze up to your fingertips. Think about lifting and lengthening. And then as we exhale, we're going to draw the fingers slightly backwards, sending our hips forwards, finding a nice back bend. Go as far as you feel comfortable. And then inhale to lift all the way back up. We're going to do 2 more. So fingers reset, eye gaze to fingertips, and then just draw those fingers backwards, send those hips forwards. Inhale to come all the way back up. Last one. So just go as far as you feel comfortable. Think about lifting out of the chest. And then inhale to come all the way back up. Exhale as you come all the way back down into your Uttanasana forward fold. It's the first one of the day, so draw your chest over your thighs, crown of the head towards the floor, elbow, opposite hand to opposite elbow, and we'll just take ragdoll pose for a few deep breaths. Just opening up that lower back, the hips, the hamstrings, and the glutes. One more deep breath all the way in. See if you can draw that chest over the thighs even further. Exhale, release the hands to the floor and fold deeper. On the next inhale, we're going to crouch down into that crouch curl position, lifting the heels off the floor, tucking nose to knees. And then exhale as you push back up into that forward fold. Inhale to crouch. Exhale to forward fold. Last one, inhale to crouch. And then exhale to forward fold. From here, take your hands on top of your feet. We're going to inhale as we find our flat back tabletop position, squeezing those shoulder blades back and then sending the hips back as well. So straighten the legs, send the hips back, squeeze those shoulder blades back, hold, and then exhale, melt forwards. 2 more. Inhale to lift. Exhale to fold. Last one, inhale to lift. And then exhale to fold. From here, you're going to bend your left leg, hands together, palms together, hands to heart. Bend your left knee, straighten your right leg, and take your left elbow on the inside of your left knee. Inhale to lift and twist to look over the right shoulder. Hold for 3, 2, 1. Inhale back to center. Exhale, reset, and then we're going to switch sides. So straightening the left leg, bending the right knee, elbow to inside knee. Inhale to lift and twist. Exhale, hold for 3, 2, 1. Exhale, come all the way back to center, hands to floor, and we're just going to walk the feet all the way back to our down facing dog. Spread the fingers, grip the mat with your hands, press the crown of the head through the arms, pull those shoulders apart, find that nice broad upper back, and point your tailbone high towards the sky. So maybe soften the knees to begin with in your down facing dog, find that length in the spine, and maybe just pulse through the shoulders, pressing the crown of the head towards the floor, just a few times to open up the thoracic spine and the shoulders and the chest. And then just come to still with the upper body, and with the lower body, we're just going to gently pulse through the feet. So pedal through the heels, alternating from side to side, extending through the calves, hamstrings, opening up the ankles, the hips, and the feet. And then when you're ready, we're going to take 3 body flows. So we're going to inhale, roll forwards, drop the hips, look up, find cobra. Option to do sphinx if you need to. Press the ground away, squeeze those glutes, squeeze the inner thighs, point the toes. Exhale, tuck the toes and press back to down facing dog. So we're going to repeat that 2 more times. Inhale, roll forwards, drop the hips, look up, find cobra. Exhale, tuck the toes and press back to down facing dog. Last one. Inhale, roll forwards, drop the hips, find cobra. Exhale, tuck the toes, press back to your down facing dog. Pedal out the feet, and then we'll take a vinyasa. So inhale, roll forwards. Exhale, low plank or knees, chest, chin. Inhale, press up to cobra. And then this time we're going to exhale as we sit back in extended child's pose. So option 1, you can stay here for a couple of breaths. Option 2, find your stretch in your underarms and then start to move forwards into puppy pose. So we're going to creep forwards first, bringing our chin to the floor, lifting our bum just slightly off the heels, eye gaze towards the front of the mat. We're opening up the thoracic spine, the shoulders, in the arms as well, maybe a little bit. Take a couple of deep breaths. And again, if this is where you're comfortable to stay, then feel free to stay here. If you want to go deeper into full puppy pose, then slide the chest all the way through, keeping those hips stacked above your knees into that full puppy pose. You can grab a hold of the end of the mat like I am and push yourself back in towards your hips. Take 3 more deep breaths. And then slowly inhale as you come all the way out of that into a kneeling position. So hands under shoulders, knees under hips, and we're just going to do 3 cat-cows. So we're going to inhale to dip the stomach, look up towards the ceiling, squeeze those shoulder blades together. Exhale as you round through the spine, pressing the ground away, pulling the shoulder blades apart. Inhale to lift. Exhale to round. Last one, each way. Inhale to lift. Exhale to round. And then come back to neutral, and we're going to take left foot outside of left hand. So we're staying in this kind of narrower kneeling stance, sinking into the hips. So really focus on reaching the heart forwards and bringing that back in line with the thigh. So you're almost trying to get your knee where your shoulder is. From here, keep your right hand grounded on the floor. Take your left hand palm facing up. Reach forwards as you inhale. Exhale to sweep over to the right. Inhale back to center. Exhale to sweep over to the right. 3 more. So you should feel this in your waist, in your lower back, and maybe in your hip as well. Last one. And then come back to center. Reset with that left hand, reaching forwards, palm facing down this time. Exhale to reach over to the right. And you should now feel the stretch is more in the shoulder and the upper back. And again, we're doing 5 sweeps. So you're probably on 3 or 4. 1 more. come back to center, reset, and then step back with that left foot, come forwards with the right foot, so switch sides. So right foot is outside of right hand, finding that low, kind of narrow lunge position and trying to bring that knee in line with the shoulders, so sinking that chest down and forwards. From here, inhale as you reach forwards, palm facing up, right hand. Exhale, sweep over to the left. Inhale, back to center. Exhale to sweep. So again, just notice where you feel that. It should be in the lower back, waist section, and maybe into the hip as well. Again, we're doing 5 sweeps. And then reset. Inhale, reach forwards, palm facing down. 5 sweeps, palm facing down. And you should feel it transfer now up higher into the back and the shoulder. Last one, and then come back to center. Take the hands to the front 2 corners of the mat, step that foot back and find your down facing dog position. Just take a moment there to pedal out the feet. And we're gonna come into lizard lunge. So left foot comes outside of left hand, dropping the back knee to the floor, reach the heart forwards. So think about extending through the heart and find that nice long spine. That knee can go out to the side, just make sure your toes are glued to the ground. If you're comfortable here, stay here. If you want to go further, come down onto your elbows, or you can use a block as a kind of halfway house if you can't quite get there, but you want to go deeper. And just hold for 3, 2, 1. And then inhale as you come up onto your hands and knees. We're going to take left hand back now to right foot. See if you can grab a hold of that foot. If not, use your strap and bring the heel in towards the glute. Maybe pulse it a few times. And then hold for 3, 2, 1. Exhale, release. We're going to step back to down facing dog and repeat on the other side. So taking the right foot now outside of the right hand, dropping that back left knee to the floor, reach the heart forwards, find that lizard lunge position, glue that toe down to the floor, send the knee out to the side, and if you want to, come down onto your elbows. Reach the heart forwards, keep looking forwards, try not to look down as you do this. Hold for 3, 2, 1, and then slowly come up onto your hands again, taking the right hand back to left foot, grabbing a hold of that foot using a strap if you need to, bringing that heel in towards the glute, pulse a few times, and then hold for 3, 2, 1. Exhale, release. Replace the hand to the floor, step back to down facing dog, and we're going to come into one body flow. So you're going to inhale, roll forwards, drop the hips, look up, come to cobra, untuck the toes, and as you exhale, melt the body forwards, coming into a prone position on your mat. So we're going to come into some bow variations in preparation for camel pose. Option 1, you can do a simple locust lift, taking the hands out in front, forwards and back, and you're simply going to inhale to lift chest and thighs off the floor. Hold for 3, 2, 1. Exhale, release. Option 2, we're going to take right hand back to right foot, keeping the left arm and leg extended. You're just going to inhale to lift and kick. Hold for 3, 2, 1, exhale, release. And remember, you can stick with the original variation at any point or the variation before, you don't have to progress. And we're going to switch sides. So right arm and leg extended, left hand goes back to left ankle. Inhale to lift and kick. Hold for 3, 2, 1, exhale, release. And then this time, if you want to, go for both hands to ankles. And when you're ready, inhale to lift and kick. Hold for 3, 2, 1, exhale, release. Release the hands to the floor, come up into a kneeling position and find yourself sort of in the center of the mat. So we're going to come into our camel variations. So option 1 with our camel poses, we're going to take our hands to our hips, roll those shoulders back and down and simply take the eye gaze up towards the ceiling and then draw it backwards until we feel comfortable or uncomfortable, and then hold for 3, 2, 1, and keep thinking as you do this, as you inhale to lift back up, think about lifting through the heart as if someone's pulling you up with a string towards the ceiling. So we'll just do that one more time, hands on hips, or you can take your hands to your ankles or heels and then press the hips forwards, stacking those hips in front on top of the knees, taking the head and letting it hang back, and hold for 3, 2, 1. Inhale to lift. Option to stay with either of those progressions. Just always think about lifting through the heart so that you're lifting through the upper back as well as bending in the lower back, so support your lower back. If you want to take it further, take one hand to the ankle and then take the other hand up towards the ceiling and reach back as far as you want, and then inhale to lift up and switch sides. So the other hand to the other ankle, reaching up tall as you inhale, exhale, and come back. And then option 3 or 4, you can slide your hands now down your thighs. So you haven't got the support of the ankle. You're just simply going to slide one hand down the back of your thigh. Inhale to lift and reach, and then see if you can take those fingertips all the way as far as you can, maybe even touch the floor, and then come all the way back up, and then switch sides. So left hand now slides down the left leg, inhaling to lift and reach with the right hand, and then exhaling as you come all the way back and touch the floor. So you could try maybe 3 of those each side, or just go back to the original one. So you've done one already, and I'll watch you guys do this. So keep shooting those hips forwards, keep lifting through the heart. Really good. Really, really good. Just go as far as you feel comfortable. Focus on that lifting through the chest and finding that thoracic bend. The progression after that, if you wanted to have a go, maybe in your own time afterwards while you're warmed up, is to take your hands to your heart and go back with both hands together. So you're really squeezing the glutes to keep the lower back kind of lifted and engaged, and then lifting up through that heart, finding that back bend, touching the floor with both hands, and then coming all the way back up and resetting. So if you wanted to have a go, you can, or you can just try one arm or sit back in child's pose and relax your lower back, and we'll begin our cool down for the session. Really good. Nice work. So hopefully you can feel how that opens your shoulders, opens your hips, also makes you engage your back muscles as well and your back core to build strength there. So they're just a few, they're really good ones for opening your shoulders and your hips basically. So if you come to the back of your mat and join me in your child's pose position, so sit back on your heels, reach the hands forwards, forehead to the floor, and just take a few deep breaths. And then when you're ready, on the next exhale, walk the hands all the way over to the left. Find the stretch in the right side body. And then walk the hands as you inhale all the way back to center. And then all the way as you exhale over to the right. And find the stretch in the left side body. Walk the hands all the way back to center, come up into a kneeling position and swivel yourself all the way around onto your bums. Taking the legs straight out in front of you, flexing the toes back towards you, and pull the fleshy bits of your bum from underneath your sit bones. Inhale as you lift and lengthen, exhale as you fold forwards, reaching nose towards toes. Remember, drawing that spine over your thighs rather than hunching in the upper back. Find that stretch. You should feel this in your glutes and your lower back as much as you do in your hamstrings. And just hold 3 deep breaths. Last deep breath all the way in. Exhale. And then inhale as you come all the way back up to seated, taking the hands back behind you, fingertips pointing away. You're going to think about lifting through the chest and looking up towards the ceiling. You can even let the head hang back and finding that stretch in your shoulders and across your chest. Hold for 3, 2, 1, and then inhale to come all the way back up. Taking the left leg over the top and placing the foot on the outside of the right knee. You can keep the right leg extended or you can wrap it around and have the foot with the sole of the foot facing upwards. Just make sure both sit bones are connected. We're coming into half Lord of the Fishes, so we're going to twist the chest towards the inner thigh, hook that right elbow around the left knee. Inhale to lift, exhale to look over the shoulder. If you want to, you can see if you can take a bind by wrapping the left hand around and behind and seeing if you can grab the right fingers. I'm not quite there today. Take 2 more deep breaths. Last deep breath all the way in. Exhale. And then inhale as you unravel and come back to front. And you're going to switch sides. So left leg can go long or underneath. Right sole of the foot comes out over the top of the left knee and onto the ground outside. Taking a hold of that right knee, bringing it in towards your chest. Inhaling to lift and lengthen. And then exhaling as you look over the shoulder. And again, if you want to take that blind, you can. Two more deep breaths. Exhale, unravel yourself. Inhale to lift and unravel the legs. We're going to slide down now onto our backs, coming into supine position, taking the arms out in a T-shaped position, palms facing down, glue those shoulders to the floor. Inhale as you lift the feet off the floor. Exhale as you drop the knees all the way to the left side of the body. Inhale as you lift and twist the head to look towards the right. So again, if you want to take your, you can let gravity do the work, or you can press down on that outer thigh or extend that top leg. Hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale as you lift the knees and the head back to center, and then exhale as you drop the knees all the way over to the right. Inhale to lift and twist the head to look towards the left, and you can press down on that outer thigh, extend that top leg, do whatever you need to do, and when you're there, hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale as you bring the knees and the head back to center. Hug the knees in tight. Rock from side to side. Massage that lower back. Maybe even lift nose to knees a few times to release off the spine after those back bends. And then whenever you're ready, you can roll over onto the right side of your body and slowly come all the way up to seated. And join me in the center of the mat for one final deep inhale as we lift the hands up above the head, palms together. And as we exhale to the forehead, kind thoughts. To the lips, kind words. To the heart, kind feelings. Namaste.